Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this May the 31st, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Wednesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we're going to talk about the satellite loop for the tropical Atlantic, northwestern portion of the tropics. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Thursday and Friday. And also, we're going to take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for the next 8 to 14 days in temperatures and also in precipitations. Okay. If you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and dive on into the forecast now. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road here, folks. As you can see, we got a little system here spinning in the right off the northeastern United States coast. It's not going to turn into anything. That's that little upper level low that was pretty much spinning over the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's still slowly spinning out here in the Atlantic here, throwing some moisture back toward, should throw it back towards the portion of the northeastern United States around New York and also maybe around Long Island and also back over to portions of Washington D.C. area. Maybe a few showers possible there. We got a system down here around the Bahamas, also down toward Cuba. That's on a pretty much a stalled frontal boundary there, bringing some heavy precipitation to Cuba and the Bahamas as well. Bermuda, you may get a little bit of precipitation as well out of this system because you're pretty much about right here, and that moisture continue to kind of feed your way. So you may get some scattered showers and storms this afternoon in Bermuda. Here's that little future the National Hurricane Center is tracking right here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's expected to slide on off to the northeast and then kind of move on out like this, the way I got my mouse going. But this system could throw some moisture into portions of the Carolinas, anywhere from about I-95 corridor in South Carolina to the east. May get some showers. West of there, they may be isolated in nature coming up toward the late week and into the weekend. So just want to give everybody a heads up. So just right now, I still have rain chance, about 20-30% chance for this weekend across the Carolinas, but may have to drop them down a little lower if that system takes a little more of a beeline straight out this way, and most of the moisture will remain well off the Carolina coast and may have a dry weekend pretty much across the Carolinas and the southeastern United States. But right now, things looking like there may be a slight chance of rain, 20-30% chance of shower. Anything could change if the system happens to back up to the west. It may increase the rain chances more here in the Midlands. If it goes offshore further, it would decrease the rain chances and only be just maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm possible for the region. Just want to give everybody a heads up on that if you live in Georgia or the Carolinas. Florida is going to be a total washout if you live anywhere from near Apalachicola, Florida, all the way over toward Orlando and Jacksonville, Florida. Maybe down a portion of southeast Georgia may get in on some rain out of this system. So it may be kind of a wet start, wet go for the next several days as that system continues to slowly lift off to the east and northeast and then into the tropical Atlantic, and then it will continue to lift on off toward Bermuda later on next week. Alright, well, that's enough about the tropics. Let's go ahead and move on to the weather radar across the nation here. As you can see, we got quiet conditions over the northeastern United States. We got a little bit over southern Canada there, some scattered activity there, some offshore here of that upper level low in that region. There's that system down here in the Gulf of Mexico producing shower and thunderstorms over the Gulf, some scattered activity over southern Georgia, down in the southern Florida, over here to portions of the Bahamas and northern Cuba. Also, we have more shower thunderstorm activity scattered about over Puerto Rico. Also, some over here in portions of the Hawaiian chain island as well. Also, we have more scattered activity over here. Sorry about that pop-up, folks. But we got some more scattered activity over here in portion of Missouri, over here in Illinois, back into Minnesota, like I said, southern Canada. Also more shower and thunderstorm activity over portion North and South Dakota. Scattered activity over the panhandle of Texas, maybe a little bit in Oklahoma there as well, and Kansas. Also more shower and thunderstorm activity over here in New Mexico and portion of Colorado. Scattered activity over here in Utah, Southern California, Nevada, Northern Nevada, back in eastern Washington, Oregon State, a little bit in southeast Washington, available, and a little bit of rain and snow showers mixed over central and southern portions of Alaska, and they are scattered in nature. All right, let's take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories for your location across the nation. As you can see, we still have that air quality alerts for portions of Pennsylvania and over here toward Maryland and Washington, D.C. area. Over here, portions of Ohio, northern Ohio, that is. Over here in southern Michigan, western Michigan, central and southern portions of Wisconsin. Also, some air quality alerts over here, portion of eastern Missouri, western Illinois. Also, southeast Louisiana, southeast Texas. Also, over here in eastern Texas as well. We have a special weather statement for low relative humidity over a portion of Michigan and northeastern portions of Wisconsin. Also, we have some river flooding still going on in North Dakota, South Dakota, and got some hydro issue over here in portion of eastern Kansas. More river flooding going on over here in portions of Idaho, Nevada, and also portions of Utah as well, and also in the portions of northwestern New Mexico. Red flag warnings in effect for central and southwestern New Mexico. Flash flood watches in effect for portions of northeastern and eastern New Mexico and the panhandle portion of Texas and a couple counties in western portions of Oklahoma. Got a flood advisory for portions of one county there for some heavy rainfall in there in portions of North Texas. Also, we have some flood watches there. Also, some winter weather advisory. Got some flood warnings in effect for portions of Alaska there as well. The Hawaiian Chain Island looks a-okay. And also, we got some heavy freezing spray warning in effect for northwestern portions of Alaska as well. Had to put that in there as well. Okay, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. We got general thunderstorm from the Florida Keys through Florida, through southwest Georgia, through Alabama, back into Louisiana, southeastern Texas. Also back into Kentucky, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Kentucky, all the way up portion of Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, back to North Dakota, Montana, back over to portion of Idaho. Also into portions of California, Nevada as well, and also into Utah, and also into Colorado and Texas. We have a marginal risk from Texas all the way into portions of South Dakota. Also, we have a slight risk of severe weather down here in portions of eastern New Mexico, and also the panhandle portion of Texas, southern Oklahoma, and southeastern. Western portion of Oklahoma and southeastern portion of Colorado and southwestern portion of Kansas. We have in the marginal risk, if you're included, Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Royal, Colorado, Lakewood, Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado. The slight risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Rodewell, New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico. Sorry about that, folks. My computer's refreshing the information. The tornado probability for today, 2% in the green, 5% in the brown. It's pretty much the panhandle of Texas and New Mexico. And if you're in the 2%, this includes Santa Fe, New Mexico, Rodewell, New Mexico, Hereford, Texas, Los Angeles, New Mexico, or Tessa, New Mexico. The 5% include Clovis, New Mexico, Portal, New Mexico, and Tacoma, New Mexico. Let's take a look at the wind probability. We have a 5% in the brown from Texas all the way to portions of South Dakota, including Kansas, Nebraska, western Oklahoma, eastern Colorado, and northeastern portions of New Mexico. We have 15% in the yellow. The black slashed area there is significant severe damaging wind gusts. That would be If you're in that area, this includes Amarillo, Texas, Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, Hereford, Texas, Dumas, Texas. The 15% include Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Rodwell, New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico. And the 5% include Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Royal, Colorado, Lakewood, Colorado, and Fort Collins, Colorado, and surrounding areas. Let's take a look at the hail probability. Same areas from Texas to South Dakota, 5%, 15% in the yellow. And the black slashed area, that's a significant severe hail threat. If you're in that area, this includes Rodwell, New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico, Patel, New Mexico, Tacoma, New Mexico. The 15% include Rodwell, New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico, Carlsbad, New Mexico, Hereford, Texas. Also, the 5% include Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Royal, Colorado, Lubbock, Texas, and Amarillo, Texas. Let's take a look at your Thursday outlook. This will be day 2 from the Storm Prediction Center. We have general thunderstorm pretty much over portions of Maine, back down into portion of Vermont and New Hampshire. Also back in the portion of Michigan, all the way into portions of Minnesota, Wisconsin, back to Montana, to Idaho, back to California, Nevada, back in the northern portions of Arizona, back into Texas, down to Louisiana, to Florida, through Georgia, Tennessee, back to Illinois and Indiana. We have a marginal risk over the panhandle portion of Texas, western Oklahoma, southwestern portion of Kansas, southeastern Colorado, and eastern New Mexico. And if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Liberal, Texas. The tornado probability is 2% down here in eastern New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas. And this includes Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Hereford, Texas. The wind probability, 5%, general vicinity. This includes Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Liberal, Kansas. And the same for the hail, same areas. Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Liberal, Kansas. Let's take a look at the outlook for your Friday across the nation from the Storm Prediction Center. We still got general thunderstorm from Maine all the way down to portion of Pennsylvania and also down into Maryland and New York. Also in the outer, near the Outer Banks of North Carolina through portions of South Carolina down to Florida Keys, back to Louisiana, to Texas, all the way back into California, Nevada, all the way back up to Montana, North Dakota, all the way back into Minnesota, and also into Wisconsin as well, Northwestern Michigan. We have a slight risk in the darker green there. That's from Texas and the portion of Kansas. Also a slight risk there in portion of Texas there. If you're in the slight risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, San Angelo, Texas, Big Spring, Texas. The marginal risk include Amarillo, Texas, Abilene, Texas, Del Rio, Texas, Hobbs, New Mexico, and Garden City, Kansas. And let's take a look at the probability. We have a 5% in the brown from Texas to Kansas, 15% in Texas. And if you're in the 15%, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, San Angelo, Texas, Big Springs, Texas. 5% include Amarillo, Texas, Abilene, Texas, Del Rio, Texas, Hobbs, New Mexico, and Garden City, Kansas. All right, and now we're going to finally wrap it up with the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook for temperature and precipitation outlook across the nation. As you can see, we have below normal temperature from Maine all the way down into portions of South Carolina, all the way down back into Tennessee, all the way back up into portion of Wisconsin and also Michigan. Also, we have a near normal temperature contrast from central South Carolina down to Savannah, Georgia, all the way back through a portion of Atlanta, all the way back into portion of Texas, through portion of Missouri, through Missouri, all the way into portion of western Wisconsin, portion of northeastern Minnesota, all the way back into portions of California. We have below normal temperatures expected from central California through central and southern Nevada, all the way back over to portion of Nebraska, Kansas, all the way back into northwest Texas, all including Arizona and also New Mexico as well. We have above normal temperatures expected over portion of Minnesota, all the way back into portion of northern California, all the way into Washington State, Montana, and also North and South Dakota as well. And also in Alaska, we got above normal temperatures in the north, near normal temperatures in central, below normal temperature in the south. All right, and here's your 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook across the nation. We got above normal precipitation from Maine down into portions of Vermont and also Connecticut. Also down here in southeast Florida. Also above normal precipitation expected for portions of portions of South Carolina, back into Kentucky, all the way back into portions of South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, back into Washington State. The well above normal precipitation will be over here in portions of California, back in the portion of Colorado and Wyoming area and Utah area. Also, we have plus down in Texas, also back in the Southern California as well. We got near normal precipitation expected for Southern California all the way into Southern Texas through Southern Louisiana, much of Florida, the Carolinas, all the way back into portion of New York State, also back into portion of Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, also back over the portion of North and South Dakota, portions of western Minnesota and western Iowa as well. We got below normal precipitation over the Great Lakes region from Michigan back into Wisconsin, portion of northeast Iowa, and also eastern portions of Minnesota. And above normal precipitation across all of Alaska and near normal precipitation in the southeast of Alaska. Alrighty, well I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and we will catch you back in the next one.